the 24th of July. As usual, it's the generator roaring away in the background here in Avondale. No power in the morning till 10 p.m. at night. So we start with the papers. Daily News talks about power and about the increase in prices, saying that the meltdown puts ED in a corner as this has crushed Zimbabweans. Newsday goes with an almost similar story, but quotes MDC Deputy President and IBT, who calls for dialogue due to the deteriorating economic condition, but dialogue not the Pollard, but by their own terms. The Herald focuses on the China-Zim Business Forum, with the president selling the potential in tourism. At the start of the financial headlines, you guys are awfully quiet.
You didn't even say good morning to us. You just went straight.
Really?
You know,
I didn't say
morning happiness.
Okay, good
so
morning.
we're just listening.
I was full of trying to work, eh? Anyway, good morning, guys.
Morning.
So we go straight to the financial stories. Delta yesterday released its trading update, which shows that business was subdued in the first quarter as expected. Delta lager beer volumes are down 57%, but sorghum beer volumes, which is what people kind of trade down to, is up 2%, and sparkling beverages are down 79%, even though they resumed full production. Revenue is up though, 92%. It's inclusive of AFTIS, and it's only up because the comparative year is in US dollars.
Yeah. Okay. So, I mean, besides the whole issue around, disposable income, I think it's a trend that we're seeing with a lot of Zimbabwean companies, listed companies, where volumes are coming down quite significantly. But however, you find that the top line would actually increase. So it's also a pricing dynamic, and also the fact that we've moved into a local currency, which is RTGS. But quite shocking is the decline in sparkling beverages business. That was quite significant, 92% happy.
79%.
79,
they only started full production in this quarter, and also their pricing is slightly different from their main competitor, which is Pepsi, which sells at $1.79 for the PETs, and Delta is on $4.
Yeah, so you can't. They can't be competing with that kind of pricing. Pepsi is coming into the market, so they're pricing very hard. It looks like Pepsi is gaining a bit of traction in the market. Zimbabweans at first were, a bit reluctant to drink Pepsi, but the prices have forced them into drinking Pepsi, and I think it's a win. It's a win for the consumer at the end. I think Delta will have to bring down their prices. In terms of the volumes here of alcohol, I think having AFTIS being included in their numbers makes sense. People are moving away from the lagers and more to sorghum, but more to AFTIS run beverages like
2 kids.
Yeah,
2 kids,
the strong stuff.
Yeah.
2 kids.
But
all
I guess
spirits.
the main dynamic really on the sparkling beverage side is really the inability to source for FX, because what they need are the concentrates. And once you get the Forex as well, in terms of pricing, you're quite limited in terms of the price that you can set for the sparkling beverages. But definitely, Varum Beverages is winning market share. I mean, I guess that's a big loss for Delta. But I think it's still a well-managed company controlled by a multinational and profit management team. So it has those good qualities. But of course, the macro environment is not quite encouraging for Delta.
It's not. They've also had price increases within the quarter, and also last week we saw that they increased the price of clear beer and of sorghum beer. To them, they're saying that it's still below regional benchmarks, and beer is still very cheap compared to others. But so when you then compare to disposable incomes, here in Zim, people can't afford beer anymore.
Okay, so we're all moving to 2 kids now, eh?
How do you drink that and manage to actually stay alive? I don't know. 2 kids is too much.
The whole idea is to get drunk.
2 kids is what? 43%.
Yeah.
Oh,
Because,
yeah,
it's
that's
like medicine.
yeah.
You're drinking medicine.
And what happens to your liver thereafter?
All right.
It dies. But more information, they did say that because of the power cuts post June 24, shows a very different picture, and because of the use of the local dollar now, they can't accept any foreign currency. Remember, previously they had a mix of US dollar and RTGS purchases, but post June 24 they've had to increase their prices, and the power cuts also means that they'll stop production. And still they're also lamenting that they don't have any forex. They've had very limited access to forex, and also because they RTGS, because they of the RBZ taking over RTGS balances, they don't have a lot to play around with.
So this is another limitation of Special Instrument 142.
Yeah.
I guess what has happened, especially with these policies, they tend to sort of benefit one side, which is the government. We saw, of course, how the 2% tax benefited the government, and also this statutory instrument again is sort of helping them.
This one
you know.
benefited on the politics side because this ensured political survival.
Yeah.
Because there was
So,
a lot of
I mean,
simmering tension.
So
Only political survival.
I think, but they mustn't look at Pepsi as a small entity at all. Pepsi is big in places like Asia. It's the number one, sparkling beverages producer. So
No,
if
we
they
kind
come
of
in
used
big
to,
time,
yeah.
they could be give Delta a run for their money locally in years to come.
yeah.
So, your thoughts? Buy Delta? Continue buying Delta?
Yeah, and I think it's still a good company if you're looking at the long-term opportunity, the market share, the quality of the management team. Of course, the macro environment is not quite encouraging, but of course, because of the changeover to RTGS, you find that numbers, even bottom line growth, will still be huge. So, from an EPS perspective and price earnings ratio, it's still an attractive stock to maintain within your portfolio. Yeah.
DPC says there's no deposit cover for Nostro accounts. So in the event of a bank folding, if you hold a Nostro at any given bank, they're not going to pay you. They'll only pay for the local currency accounts.